Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Bet.net Challenger Series. We're into map number 3 of our first series between forZe and Sprout. Very interesting turn of events with the first map pick of Train being picked by Sprout, lost by them pretty spectacularly. And forZe's map pick of Inferno lost by them to Sprout pretty spectacularly. We move on to Mirage, which shall be the final battleground of the first series of the playoffs stage. Of course, after this particular match, we have one more match between Quantum Bellator Fire and Red Reserve. Coming up, of course, the best of 3. Yet to see how those particular matches, how those particular vetoes will be going down. We are almost ready to get into our first game. I'm not convinced by forZe. I have not been convinced by their performance metrics so far. It has not been impressing me, especially in that last map where they were absolutely bodied by Sprout. And considering that Inferno was one of Sprout's best maps, up against Mirage, which is their second best map, second only to Cobblestone, which fortunately enough for forZe is a permaban for them. It does mean that I do not hold the best of spreads here. Mirage, they've lost a number of times against many different teams. EPG, they lost against them in the past. They lost against Amiga. They lost against Avangard. Admittedly, Avangard is a very reputable team in the CIS region, so I'm not expecting them to be able to hold a major fight against them, but regardless, comparing to the likes of Sprout, who have been and played this map on many different tournaments, including the ECS Close Qualifiers, the Loot.bet Cup, and of course the Bet.net Challenger Series on many different occasions, taking on the likes of Venatorus, Red Reserve, Epsilon in the past, and winning out all of those games. I do believe this is one for their favour, but we're almost ready to get into the map itself, the final map of the series, to decide who moves forward. Just waiting for the clean feed to come through to us. We can get into the knife round and the pistol round of this map. Let me know who you're supporting in the Twitch chat, of course, on Twitter. So here we go. Going into this one, it looks like the pistol round is already ready to go live. Sprout on the CT. Actually, no, this is a knife round, it looks like, actually. So, scratch that. I know what I'm talking about, trust me. Choice of side to be decided. I imagine that forZe would love to start on CT. Just that confidence of getting the first pick is always going to be a great thing for them. And yeah, they will decide to get the first knife. So, options available. And they all switch to CT. So, Sprout, I don't know if you could say they'll be on the back foot for this one. They have got a very nice T-side bias in their round victories. Just not too major, but still enough to maybe consider a T-side to be very, very good for them at the moment here. But let's see whether Mirage will end up to be that player. I'm predicting Sprout. Knife round has gone live. forZe will start on CT for the first half of the match. Whenever they're ready, we can jump straight into it. Of course, this is the very funny occasion where you're ready to go. We're pumped, we're hyped, we've got ourselves into the match. We are seeing our choice of sides, and now neither team really wants to actually ready up, or one team in particular doesn't want to ready up until very now. So, here we go. Let's get to it. It's time for the pistol round. The last map of this first quarterfinal matchup. forZe taking on Sprout here on the battleground of Mirage. The Diffuse kit doesn't look like it's coming out for forZe just yet. They're going to be going in with a pretty heavy utility setup to kick things off. Smoke, Flash, HE for face crack. Sviat has the Flash and the Molotov or Incendiary Grenade for the CT side. Everybody else has armor, and everyone for the CT side has a default pistol. They're going to go for a B stack, and Sprout in the same sort of sense are going to have themselves a decent set of utility. Spinny using all of it early on to take mid control, and Sprout we're going straight towards this A bomb site around the entire CT line. First frag to the favor of Dennis as XSE power goes down, and the bomb will get planted for the A site, retaking effect for forZe. No defuse kit, but you regret not buying that one earlier, lads. They still have all the utility they bought into, so let's see if they can use it to try and set up a retake right here. Jerry going to make his way inside. Dennis will challenge him, but Jerry takes him out. 4 versus 4. Immediately out of the gate here with the CTs have a pretty decent setup in this one. A backstabbing coming from Little. Crystal's ready and waiting. Innocent picks up face crack, and Little spots his teammates now going to lock them out, but he's not spotted. He's going to line up 2 players. Only gets the first headshot. Man advantage for Sprout so far, and they're just wasting time for the CT side. It's all Little alone. And he will get picked apart by Innocent. First round on the favour for Sprout. A 3k for Innocent overall for that defensive. As they overwhelm everybody from forZe, and unfortunately the backstab didn't come in quick enough and couldn't come in more effectively from Little. Means that forZe lose the first, Sprout will get their pistol and possibly, most probably even the conversion rounds. AKs, MAC-10s, a Galil here for Crystal. Molotovs go together. SXC with the scout. Ready and waiting for anyone to come through. The smokes will flush him out of sniper nest at least, so that's one thing. Further smokes going down. And the T side are suppressed towards his mid position and towards Connector as well. Still will challenge Little towards ladder room. Little will get a lot of damage on Crystal, but not enough to get the kill. He'll get the wallbanger shot with the Galil. 28 HP remaining on him. XSC going to get backstabbed in by Dennis as well with his MAC-10 getting $600. $1,200 in fact with Jerry going falling. FaZe will get one frag with his Deagle meanwhile, but he's traded all the same. So sviat is the last man left. A 1 versus 4. A Deagle in his hands. Kevlar to support him, but does mean he's susceptible to both the AKs, the Galil, and the MAC-10 for Dennis. So I don't know if he's going to survive this one. He might hear these footsteps towards ramp, and actually he's going to try back off and get these frags. But again, no retake will be in favour of him. It will be a 2-0 for Sprouts at the moment in time. Crystal spots the last man. They're going to back right off, knowing exactly where they are. Exit out towards Connector Jungle and potentially even CT. Again, 2-0 start here for Sprout. They actually will go hunting Dennis and NATO. Dennis, if he gets this frag, not quite, but NATO will get it regardless. Dennis gets himself the money back for the investment in this round, so he's more than fine at the moment. We're going to invest into another MAC-10, and actually, yeah, he will be able to do so. So Sprout will look to build the money line. Which is more than fair at this stage. forZe on a full eco, only the upgrades for Little and FaceCracker. Deagle and a PT-50 already down by the hands of Innocent. Quickly into the aggressive peaks and quickly into their graves. Or the lone T-side player said them, and actually maybe even looking for a bit more spots. Jerry takes his head off. A 4k for Innocent. Barely even scratched on 75 points of HP. And sviat just left to... Oh, what can he do, really? I was going to say, let's set himself up for an exit frag, but can he really do that? USP, so little damage against Dennis and Innocent. Everybody else has no damage whatsoever. Could find Dennis catching off guard. Nope. The MAC-10 will get the kill. $600 in the bank extra for Dennis. You can see the money line bolstered as a result. 4 players on more than $6,000 pre-buy. 2 players still on $6,000 post-buy. And Speedy and Dennis aren't even looking that bad either. Rifles can get dropped for them, assuming forZe win this first rifle round, which you can see they are bringing out onto their CT board. The 4 M4s, the single AWP, is actually glass cannon for this CT side. And this hurt forZe quite significantly in the last map, so whether it's a advisable move is yet to be seen here. That aim punch surely should put a major disadvantage to XSE. Into the smokes, flashbangs, XSE will get pushed away, but he's still trying to look for any one of these players. They're going to hear footsteps to his left. Crystal will get dealt with by sviat. Now safix takes down the AWPer. sviat is dealt with, so all the B-bomb site control is dead. Little trying to rotate in from market, but suppressed by Molotov. It doesn't look to get much better here for forZe. 1 man advantage for Sprout, bomb down. Officially, we're in the retake, and there's 1 defuse kit on Little, who has to be protected all the way up until the end of this. Actually, it's a good backstab from Jerry, who could take down the likes of Dennis. We'll pick off Little, however. That's where 4 versus 2, and eventually damage done by Jerry will be, well, not that much more than that. All face crack now, 1 versus 4. Backed up here behind market. We'll catch 1 player as he exits. For a second round, actually takes the 1 AWP out and gets negative safix for his trouble. So Recovering that AWP, a 3k for him, that will make the round expensive for Sprout. But they have a lot of money they can invest into, so really it's just a small chink in the armor. The Juggernaut suit for Sprout. forZe just trying to put a couple of players a little bit more of an investment to try and hold this AWP into some sort of decent head, try and support it as XSC tries to do all the damage, and lo and behold, Sprout going to peek it 1v1. There you go, that AWP picks off Natosafix and Crystal. Innocent caught off guard of his own accord, not going to get taken down. Meanwhile, Dennis going to deal with Jerry as he tries to recover that AWP. Dropped at the top of mid, he goes falling. And FaZe is going to peek out and take down Innocent as well, so even so, forZe keeping this man advantage alive. Now those Sprout trade and trade and trade. They are still down by a man. They're going to peek right back into mid. XSC still here. Close range aggressive. Second face. Can't land it onto Dennis. Dennis will deal with him. Get himself a 3k. Spiddy will take down Sviat, so while this round looked like it was going to get a little bit crazy for forZe, it looks like order has been restored. Bomb will get planted on the B site. Little has still got armor and an AK, so I don't know where he is. They're setting themselves up to deal with this apartment position, but Dennis gets caught off guard trying to jump. Knife out, flashbangs go through. Doesn't get blinded by it, but he takes down Spiddy regardless. Going to clutch things out. A 2k for him. Dennis up for the 4k as well. They spot each other, and Little wins it out. Very nicely played from him to rush them down, apply pressure to the two Sprout players, and bring a first round on the board for forZe. A clutch round on the board for forZe. Economy still looking good here for Sprout, though. They should reinvest in full for this one. Single up 4 AKs coming out once again for Sprout. The AWP on Natosafix, who has been less than impactful so far in this series. Sprout just going to make their way into their aggressive T-side default. They actually have suppressed the CTs back towards the A-bomb site. The only real aggressive position is here towards this ramp from, and they're just going to see a little bit of utility. Innocent will start to peek up with the AWP. Catches him off, shuts him down. First frag to the favour of forZe, but that could all be about to change. Dennis actually spotted out across the smoke. And FaZe turns on for his second. Crystal falling in the ladder room, as well as Spiddy getting picked apart all the same. Sprout just crumbled to pieces, giving 1v1s that forZe win every day of the week. Natosafix are 1 versus 5 now. Remaining for the Sprout team, what can he do with an AWP in his hands, a bomb on his back? A full set of utility. Running straight into Jerry. Surely this should be a frag for the CT player. Indeed it is. Simple headshot. All 5 staying alive for forZe. With the damage done in the last couple of rounds as well to Sprout, this means that the economy is not really looking 100% solid. They could still force it down. They could still get rifles out on 3 players, but they're going to opt just to go with some upgrades here and there. A Galil for Innocent. But that's the highest investment they got, and they still got a little over $2 grand left in the bank for them. This will level out the economy for 3 rounds of lost bonus, and this probably does mean that they may have a chance into this one. Smokes, flashbangs. Here comes the basic set execution, covering up a lot of the open area, but Jerry Gets the spray through on Crystal. Face crack gets Innocent up towards Palace. Completely blind they are, but they found their gap in the fence, and they're going to exploit it in its finest. Jerry gets himself a 3k, almost a 4k, but NATO Sapphics does deal with him as appropriate. Tries to turn on to Face Crack, who's also damaged of his own accord. Unfortunately, the AWP is there to restore order. XSC gets himself a kill, and the third round for forZe. Managed to even up against the Sprout T side, or get close towards it. Crystal is the weakest man here on the T side with the Mac 10 in play, but a full rifle buy outside of that. 2 AKs, a Galil for Spiddy, a Scout for NATO. Pushing out from Sprout already, little switch shade down alongside Sviat. Close to the bomb site, dropping the bomb. 4v3. Nades will land. NATO Sapphics going to get forced back away. Sprays coming out. Sprout are suppressed across this entire line right here. As the AWPs try and pick them apart. XSE going to take that. Then his face trap's going to get tagged up. NATO Sapphics jump scouting. Does catch the out off guard at least. So there's 1 kill back, but it's still a man advantage for forZe, and they've got to be careful. Oh, Sprout should be able to... Ooh, actually turn this around. Never mind. XSC is the last man left, and AWP versus the 1 versus 2. Spotting NATO Sapphics. NATO Sapphics spots him, tags him up. Still low HP, still alive, however. They both start to peek together around this corner. AWP out. Spotting one man. Can't get a flick on XSC, however. Spiddy will take him down. That's the 5th round on the board for Sprout. With a dire situation, they managed to get turned on its head, so... Well, props to the Sprout side. Imagine turn that force buy into a full round. It's going to be the first contact here for Sprout, straight up with the AWP. Second AWP on NATO Sapphics, holding back passive towards mid. Shots ringing out. AWP from Little. Trying to catch a good glimpse somewhere. So far, default across the lines. 2 pistols in play for forZe does not mean that this buy is amazing from the CTs. Mostly relying on Little and XSC and Sviat for that matter to hold down the brunt of the defensive against the Sprout side, who are tagged up on one of their AWPs, but are unscathed across the rest of their board. They're going to go into the mid position. Ooh, I think Jerry just spotted. Never mind, actually. Backstab incoming. Oh, Little shuts down one more for Crystal. Jerry picks up Innocent. Jerry's going to get traded back by Spiddy, at least to a 4 versus 2. And now they've got to move. They've got to try and make their way into the A-bomb site. They've managed to open it up for a couple of seconds. The face crack still here. Tapping away on Spiddy. Can't quite land it. 5-7 fell. But not taking a kill. The 5-7 still looking to try and do something to hold out on this passive angle. He will take that NATO Sapphics for Spiddy. We'll deal with him back all the same. Ace clutch for him. 2 of the frags, or all of the frags so far for the T side have gone to his favour. Now he's got a bomb and an AK to try and make this work. 17 HP, Little is also low. The flashbang doesn't take him out. Or actually spotted, and Spiddy will tap burst his way to victory. He's still looking for these frags for 5 seconds. He's got to plant the bomb now. It's open for connector, but he knows that XSC is going to start peeking up. And you will find the frag as a result. It will be a 4th round for forZe as they reset Sprout into nothing. A single round of loss bonus, and really they can only afford to upgrade a couple of pistols. So that's about it. Moneyline ain't looking promising. Crystal also not having the best numbers put on his particular side as well. 2 frags so far in this match, and that just goes to add the other bottom table performances that we've seen from him in the rest of this series. The other 2 maps, of course, weren't doing too great for him. He'll take point on this one, and you may just be able to bait out the shot. Actually quite smart, actually, to try and put a lurk, to drop that gun, to try and make them think they're dropping the bomb. It doesn't pull a rotation away, unfortunately, as forZe also take one more player out towards the A site, so they don't really know where these guys are going to be going. Eventually mid-control spotted by Little, and he deals with that all the same. Spinny goes forward. Still one more man out towards this right-hand side of mid, but he's now focusing towards underpass. He takes down one more, tries to down to Dennis, but Dennis Steagle picks him apart before he's traded, and Crystal is the lone man left alive. 1 versus 4. Be one hell of a way, one hell of a clutch to boost your numbers if you can find all 4 of these players, but what's the likelihood of that at this point in time? They'll start to peek out. The Eagle shots come through. Bomb's dropped all the way towards the other side of the map, so he doesn't have to rotate and pick that up as well, so not expecting a lot from here. He won't be able to do anything. Jerry picks him up, 2k for him. 5-5 as forZe even up the scoreline. And Sprout, still not left on the best money line, mate. Also opt to eco in this one. Again, maybe some upgraded pistols and actually a lot of utility coming out for these guys. The 4 smokes. This could end up leading towards a slight execution. These smokes are enough to smoke down. Connect to jungle. Yes, connect to stairs. CT stairs as well. And that looks like that's what they're going to be setting themselves up for. Maybe another smoke here on the bomb site itself to cover them off. But a lot of utility being invested by Sprout. 5 smokes in total and a lot of flashbangs. Here they come straight in. FaZe crack with a counter molotov to try and slow them down for a couple of seconds. But actually it will work. Only those couple of smokes, only those 2 smokes going out. They've still got 3 more to be working with. So they could go for another execution. And in fact, Innocent Crystal and NATO Statics will put the smokes down into a push towards the A site. Meanwhile, the lurk is out from Sprout as they try and go in with the execution. The bomb trying to go down on the B bomb, so if they can overwhelm them here, it'll be a fantastic round from the T side. But so far, it's just the 2 frags going to the favor of the rifles and the AWP on the B side, shutting down Speedy. The bomb partner spotted. Crystal will pick up FaZe crack, but Dennis is dropped as well, so it's all Crystal. M4 in his hands. For an ace clutch, again, it's just not going to happen. Pause will get called from forZe. Once again, they've been a very big fan of these pauses, but this time it is a technical pause. Still, this does give it time to simmer. Sprout didn't get the bomb plot in that last round, but it's still working off of the loss bonus. Managed to find off forZe, 3 rounds in total, so the Germans have money, and you can see they've already bought into the rifle setup. Speedy can still go with a little bit of utility crystals yet to invest, and I imagine it will just be the AK for him. Kevlar helmet, full set of utility. Speedy actually got to think about where he wants to go with utility. He could buy the utility, or he could be buying into Kevlar helmet. Ah, there we are. Okay, so Coach left the server, but small CS crash. He's back in the server now, so forZe should be ready to go into round 12, as should Sprout. Speedy's still yet to invest. Vice versa for Crystal. He will get out the AK, Kevlar helmet, full set of utility. Speedy will follow up with a head Kevlar, but only a little bit of money to spend on utility, and he's going to go with 2 flashbangs. So understandable given the circumstances. The head armor will be worth it against these 3 M4s. Lead is currently taken by forZe. They currently have the advantage in this series above Sprout. Flashbangs over. Face crack is already low by the early engagement towards the underpass. Sprout have taken control of the apartments once again. Sviat is here, ready and waiting. There are so many CTs over on this A side of the map. There's only Sviat up against basically a 1 versus 5 from Sprout. Backup will be arriving in time and Little will shut down Crystal as a result for the first frag. Sviat back behind bench, spots out one man, actually gets the wallbanger headshot on Spiddy. Looks for Innocent as well. And it's all just down to Dennis as Little and Sviat have crossfired and locked this site out. All up to one man in a 1v5. We'll be able to find Little at the edge of the smoke, looking for Sviat. He knows he's back towards bench, looking for this one tap, trying to get the frag, but it's all up to the AWP to peek out and shut him down. So 7-5. forZe losing a single man means the economy can bolster further. Little can invest as well. Doesn't actually need to, actually. The AWP will get saved and dropped for him. Would still be nice for him to pass the M4 over to face crack, however. But 4 rounds of lost bonus now for Sprout at the moment. Not looking too hot at this point in time. I'm going to go with a little bit of investment on Kevlar on some players here with these pistols, but outside of that, the upgrades are only a few. CZ's in 2 Deagle. That's actually 2 Deagles. A Glock for Spiddy. He's once again got the Zeus out. Sprout have had a thing for Zeus so far in this match. Flashbang's pour through. Spiddy's going to be the first man down. Crystal gets picked up by Sviat. Sprout have a very hard time breaking into this B bomb site, but eventually Nato Safix will lock out the frag on the lone man back behind bench. He'll pick up his M4, and the bomb looks to get planted. So Sprout would have achieved what they wanted to out of this forZe buy. The rest of the CTs are bearing down on them, and they are looking for frags against this T side. Eventually, Jerry will line up 2 of his own and bring the 8th round to the favor of forZe, who will win their CT half. So I'm pleasantly surprised to say that forZe are actually holding a decent fight on this one. Economy is as bolstered as it's ever been here for the forZe CT side. Sprout have max loss bonus to be playing with now as they go in with the AWPs and the 4 AKs. Already Little picks up NATO Safix, so it just doesn't work out well for them at all. Ace crack up close into connector. Here's the footsteps, here's the dropping. May find Spiddy or Dennis. The flashbang goes over, he's ready for it, spots them both out and only gets the 1 frag, however. Spiddy will trade him. But 2 for 1, again, it's favoured to forZe. And Sprout only have the map control towards mid and towards the A side to a lesser extent. Innocent eventually going to get forced back as XSC gets himself back towards the A bomb site. Great grenade from Crystal. Red onto the part of Little, and this time it does do the damage. The A-bomb site is locked, and XSC is going to pick off Innocent for it. Shuts him down, looks for a little bit more. The flashbang will keep him blind. So it comes in from connector, but now he knows where the Sprout side are at as they swap out to AKs. The AWP on Crystal. Thought it was going to an AK, but apparently not. Once again in play, SXC doesn't see anything right here, and Crystal will pick up Little. They've still got to deal with this lone CT player, and Jerry's also hit towards the Palace position. Spiddy will get dealt with, and Crystal will get peeked on. And there it is. 9 rounds on the board for forZe. But this half is all to the CT side. Sprout can maybe make a 6th round work from their CT side. Last chance in the half. Last chance in round number 15. Double up setup out for forZe. Been working well for them so far this series. Let's see if it'll do so for one more round here. Defaults coming out from Sprout has been very incapable of finishing off these orbs. Finally, Speedy will get the first however. Face crack going falling. Flashbang's over. XSE still spots Crystal. Still takes the flicker down him. Backing off into short as well. Will try and suppress them. Smoke's utility, but no cover with the AWP. Actually, the flashbang is also going to force Dennis, or force him back to allow Dennis to get into connector. Smoking it down, going to start making their way inside. Sprout going to hit the A-bomb, so they've got one man to deal with. That's Jerry taking the first man, spots the second, but gets sprayed back by Dennis. Orp here of Little here to respond here to recover, but this is the flick on Innocent, and Innocent will punish him for it as well. XSC and Sviat, two very different positions. Sviat coming in from underpass, going to make his way to connector. XSC got the AWP locked from CT, completely blinded off. Innocent won't spot him, but he's still got this orb. He's going to slow peek it. I think he spotted a small angle here. One more flashbang. He takes the shot, completely blind, picking off Innocent back to a 2 versus 2. These CTs, they're down upon the Sprout side. Flashbangs go over. Sviat going to make his way inside. Incendiary down to force NATO Staffix out. Here it comes. NATO Staffix going to jump in, bounce back on the box, and eventually he'll take down the diffuser. All up to Sviat now. Last man left. Smoke on the bomb. Can't get the defuse. It's all over for him. He'll take him out. Will get taken out by Dennis. The 6th round will be on the board for Sprout. As finally their default did work, and they picked apart those AWPs, but they still came back to strike. And one man back towards that firebox was all Sprout needed to deny the bomb defusal. So. CT side now for Sprout. Diffuse kit for NATO Staffix. He's got the smoke speed. He's got the CZ and a HE. Okay. That's interesting. Balls will go straight into the B-bomb site set up already. Straight into the apartments. They've got no utility on their side, so they're just going to rush this down and hope to God this works out. Grenade in. Damage done. Spiddy trying to tap his way, but loses so much HP with no armor on his back. It's Sviat to get the first as they quadruple peek him. NATO Staffix still going to get that one frag. Crystal still held back here towards the bench, but he's taken out to a 3 versus 2 now. forZe man advantage, but NATO Staffix out towards short is still fragging. Still looking for T-side players. They make their way inside. The defuse kit is on NATO. He smokes down the bomb. Innocent takes one, but now Little will take out NATO Staffix, leaving Innocent as the last man left. 1 versus 2. Got to reload. Got to pick up the defuse kit as well off his dead comrade. Spotting the worst man. Knows that one's also close on the bomb site, but he tries to tap him down. He can't find these one shots that will do it right here. He's just a little inch off. And it will be forced to win out the pistol on their T-side. Suddenly, this looks a lot more awkward. Innocent did not look good during that exchange. It looked very, very awkward. Will force their buyback in. Sprout Crystal trying to get the drive-by shot with the Eagle. Trying to spot out all these players. They're blind, but Face Crack will still take him down. Spiddy sees Ed close once again, picking up Face Crack, looking for one more man, but he runs out of ammo. I think Staffix still on the side, but he's dealt with just as quick. Man advantage here for the T-side, but Innocent's going to get some good Deagle shots. Serious damage done to XSC. He gets himself his 2nd and his 3rd. And the pistol damage does amount to something here for Sprout as they steal a round away from forZe. Innocent making up after his failure in the pistol is now rewarded with an M4 in this buy-up for Sprout. They need to make sure that they do not lose this one. They haven't got a whole lot of SMG investment, just one on Crystal. So M4's AK saved by Dennis and FAMAS for Speedy, already down towards the mid line. It's Suffix to get himself 2 easy frags. Jerry will pick up Dennis, but Speedy is there to cover him off here towards the underpass position. Will take himself 1 before FaceCrack trades him. 3 versus 2, and Sviat actually sneaks through Palace, takes down 1. Crystal will deal with his teammate from mid, and he actually gets another 1 dealing onto 1 more player as well. M4 to be used, but the bomb is well out of position. He's got to win this fight against Crystal. He does win it as well. And forZe forcing the issue with a lot of aggression. Sprout not ready for it, and that is where it's going to stand. Oh my word. Crystal has not been doing well. 5 kills, far gone compared to any other player at the moment. So little damage done by him. forZe go into another default, another buy up here with the AKs, the M4 save, the MAC-10 for FaceCrack. And a P250 for Little. Siat's got an AK, but he's going with no armor in this one, which could be an interesting time here because these pistols could still do the damage on him. And indeed, Speedy picks him off. After tonight's falls, it's a 4 versus 4. He's going to hear all these footsteps towards the apartments, but is he going to realize they're moving away? Innocent's made his way up through mid, and we'll get a good tag on Jerry, but that's it. Jerry will take him down. Speedy will try and rotate to pick up the pieces. Suffix will be able to cover off a little bit of an angle here back towards the sniper nest, but Speedy's going to walk quick line and sink it into connector where Little is there, but he does deny the bomb plant at the very least. Suffix is now alone. 1 versus 2. CZ to try and shut them down, looking for a spray headshot on Little, but it just does not come to fruition. And forZe will connect 2 to bring themselves up 12-7 and put Sprout on an eco round. Surely this should be where forZe now start to pull away from the CT side and pull away from the German squad. They'll make their way. Once again, into a passive default forZe. They've got 1 man to deal with up close and personal. That is Crystal. Shots ringing out. Dennis will be tagged to 45. It's no frag, not just yet. And actually, the pistols will be able to take FaceCrack down. 5-on-4 situation. And Sprout will be making their way into the A-bomb site for a retake. forZe are taking control of this one. Jerry taking Speedy out. Let's turn it to a 4 versus 4. Flashbangs over XSC. Take position. The rest of the T-side players will just lock out the frag. They should have denied the bomb plant for a couple of seconds. That's something at least, but unless Innocent can take out Little, it's just not going to be worth any much more than time stalling. 30-7, scoreline for forZe. But now the buyer comes through from Sprout. They desperately need this round as well. Single up for both sides. 4 AKs on the T side, 3 M4s and a FAMAS for Speedy on the CT side. forZe going towards their early mid default. 2 players out towards Stack, XSC and FaceCrack. 1 man out towards the apartments. 2 lurking over at A. 1 towards ramp, 1 towards Palace. Nice sort of amalgamation to the map control that the T-side do have. All of them suppressed by a diagonal line down in that, not even half of map control. As a result, Sprout have aggressed And Crystal has a fantastic angle here towards the B apartments. 3 players to find. And this could be absolutely glorious for him. Flashbang in, they expect it, but he'll still take one before he gets traded. 40 seconds left to 4 versus 4. Only 1 man left to defend the B bomb site, so if forZe rotate through mid to go to A, then suddenly this becomes doable for Sprout as they aggress down towards T-side ramp. XSE is going to be heard. Dennis, here's the footsteps, takes the peek, but the AWP still picks him up. They suppress the bomb for a couple of seconds, but that may be all they need. If Innocent can drop this bomb planter now, this may be round, and indeed it looks like it is with NATO Savage taking Jerry. FaceCrack and Little need to rush this down. They will take NATO at the out. But now up against Innocent, he's just stalling for time, and he'll be able to stall for enough. There is no time left for forZe as Sprout get themselves an 8th round, so long as Spitty stays alive. A hero-like play from Innocent as his team needed it. And a match pause will get called for Sprout. Tactical in nature, as you would expect it. They are in dire straits. They lose this 1 round, they get reset, and that is it. forZe will be taking the first spot in the semi-finals. That's just no good for Sprout. They cannot afford to lose that. Been playing great all season long. You know, they've been doing fantastic throughout the group stage of the EU group. They finished top of the EU group. And look at this, a double AWP setup from forZe. XSC and Little have control of this. What are they planning here? This is a very risky setup for a T-side. Very least, Sprout have a very hard investment to make this one work. 4 for Masters and then before they can't afford the AWP. So whether it will work up to the favour of forZe is another question to be answered entirely. Dennis, oh no! Couldn't connect the full spray on FaceCrack, and FaceCrack just 180s, taps his head off his shoulders. That should have been a first frag to the favour of Sprout. Innocent will still take Jerry out. The action XSC trades, however, to the man advantage of forZe. Innocent tanking damage like a mofo. And sprays his way, catches a gap to suppress one of the AWPers. But the bomb is allowed to cross and get the bomb plant. Spitty creeping up, FaceCrack spots him, takes him down, and Crystal falls all the same. Innocent is the last man left. That is 14-8. FaceCrack had a lot of HP. It was a lot more than 50. But the greatest whiff in all of Sprout's history. May have cost them the match right here. This may have cost them the series. Jerry first frag on Dennis, taking him down. Innocent's ready and waiting. And keep in mind, this is a force buy from Sprout. They have not got money. If they lose this round now, then forZe will go all the way to the end to take themselves match and map point above the German squad. And Crystal is now the last man that stands between them and that opportunity. 1 versus 3, or picked up at least, but he's just got to save it. They've got 2 rounds of loss bonus. Look at that money line. There is nothing for Sprout to work with. I do not believe they can do this. I think this is a forZe match right here. Maybe Crystal could catch Sviat off guard. Just got to worry about FaceCrack towards the backhand side. He knows. Oh, what? No. And now there is nothing to work with for Sprout. 15-8, map and match point now for the T side. The Russian squad want to progress. They want to face off in the semi-finals against QB Fire or Red Reserve. That match will be coming up after this one is over, and I honestly do believe that with that final frag, it is Sprout to fall here. One final force buy. One last chance for the CT side to find something. To find a chance, a lifeline back in. Now start things off great by tagging face crack the 45, but he just tanks it, runs straight in. Dennis will take him down. First frag to the CT favor. They've got an AK dropped out as well. He's going to look for a little bit more. Spots little, but through the gap, he'll take the frag. Instant trades to a 3 versus 3, but Sviat deals with him, and the A bomb site is open. Spiddy, CZ. Molotovs go down, but Jerry's planted against this ticket booth position. Eventually, Speed's going to get taken down. It's Crystal alone. Press F to pay your respects, because Sprouts are out of the playoffs in the quarterfinals. The 2-1 series going to the favor of forZe. And, well, what a way I was not expecting that to go. I definitely had this series pinned to pick Sprout because they had two of their best maps in the series. So, that's it. forZe are going to the semi-finals, but who will they face is the question of the moment. They have one best of 3 to decide that. That's QB Fire versus Red Reserve up after this very short break, where QB Fire and the Swedish squad will be taking their chances to try and claim that semi-final spot against the likes of forZe. We'll go to a break, so don't go anywhere. Back after this one. It's our second best of 3.